Yeah, I'm Black Yak, and it's time to start.
So what happened was, I don't know. A trace ended the stream. I don't know how he ended the stream. I have no idea what happened. You know what? You know what? You know what we got to do? You know what we got to do?
Somebody get these beggars out of here.
Get these guys the fuck out of here. All right, they don't know how to work computers. You know, they don't know how to have decorum out in public. They keep beating up their baby mamas. I'm tired of these.
Somebody get these beggars out of here.
It's ridiculous, dude. Yeah. So we're starting over. We're back. Okay. Hey, if you left, hey, come back. Come back. Come back. Come back. This is hey, look, that was the first stream without Leon. This is part 2 with Leon, okay? So that's how we're gonna do it, like that. Speaking of, let's go ahead and bring the whites on. Let's bring on the whites.
Try to help a motherfucker with his echo, it turns into a carnival cruise. Taylor's old as time.
Carnival Cruise is crazy.
That's a good day. That's a good one. That was a good one. And then look, I accidentally sent the link to the fucking group chat. So you know what? Sevy's probably going to jump in here out of nowhere, or maybe
she's streaming right now. So
Ryan Roger Ate is going to come back from the grave and join the stream. Yes, man. Make sure that you guys hit that like button. Hit that like button. I'm guessing Atreus is actually fixing his mic shit now.
That's what I assume is yeah.
Yeah. All you gotta do is put in some headphones and he'll be all right. He'll be all right. Hey, y'all don't get this anywhere else, ladies and gentlemen. You don't get this anywhere else. All right. That's why we are special. That's why we are the best stream on the internet. All right. I don't care what anybody says. All right. My grandma told me that the best streamers were black. So how about you just swallow that?
And Kai Sanat apparently thinks the same thing because all the people at his university, streamer university, are always black. So,
God damn it. Well, shout out, man. Shout out to y'all. All right, bro. Let's see. Let's get this. Let's get this back on track. I see y'all coming back into the stream, man. Yeah, funnel in. Shout out. Let's see. Let's get to some. And you know what? Hey, y'all want to know what happened to the stream?
Kaboom, kablow, kaboom. Rest in peace, my granny, she got hit by a bazooka. Yeah, I think about it every time I hit the hookah. Kaboom, kablow, kaboom.
Hey, y'all niggas can go straight to hell. Y'all can go straight to hell.
All right, boys. We're back. We're here. We're not queer. You know what? No, I'm playing it again.
Somebody get these beggars out of here.
it does seem like the echo is fixed though.
I told you, bro. StreamYard.
I don't know. We gotta let Sammy talk because he has that radio voice. Hold on, I'm gonna mute us, Leon.
I got that timbre. Oh, there it is.
The echo.
And I thought I heard it. Oh. No, I don't know. Oh, motherfucker, there it is.
Bro, I mean, I don't know what it is. Like I said,
it's notably less than it was last time.
Yeah, it's a lot
I
better
heard
than what
like
it was.
little snippets of an echo, but it's notably less than it was last time.
I mean, I don't know to tell y'all. I've never
No, I think we're good. I think we're good. I don't think it's gonna be annoying
Yeah,
for the
dude,
audience.
it
Anything
happens.
like that.
It's not a big deal.
You guys killed Rumble. I know. I had to throw the stream back up quickly because the stream got ended. I had to throw it back up quickly.
We're not
So
gonna
sorry,
mention
Rumble.
names.
Yeah, we got to over 100 viewers already. So
yeah. So thank y'all for coming back. All right, we appreciate y'all. Okay. Make sure that y'all send in some super chats, some memberships, and help us get some educational courses on how to work a computer. Okay, please help us out because we don't know what we doing out here. All right. Shout out to Real
tonight's
Johnny
gift will be
Guillotine.
called the Kathy Hochul Fund.
Oh Jesus! With 10 jewels, he just says GG.
No, we got to get back to the topic.
Yeah, we got some supers we got to get through. Frostfang with a 2 says this is why blacks can't have nice things. See what you started. D-Cello with a 200 jewels jamming. Let's go, man. Let's go. And then Captain Killerguns with a 2 says, don't lie. You did it to double dip. Well, I will neither confirm or deny if that's what we're doing. And Grade 8 with a 2 says, YouTube home, no live tab. No, how'd you anger YouTube this time? No, it wasn't YouTube this time. It wasn't YouTube this time. It was us. So, shout out to y'all. We're going to get back to the Spider-Man talk. If you're here, that means that y'all want to hear the Spider-Man talk. So,
all right. So let's go back to Leon and
yeah. So my premise is that Spider-Man Brand New Day fails as both a movie and a Spider-Man movie. Not only is it a bad interpretation and adaptation of the character, but also just from a purely filmmaking perspective, this movie fails. I gave it a 3.5 out of 10. I will take he's a Tobey Maguire shill slander, because if this is a Tobey Maguire movie, everything else is the exact same. This movie would still be dog shit. But that's my premise.
Okay, so as you guys hear it, Leon thinks the movie is a 3.5 out of 10. He thinks it's a bad Spider-Man movie, and he also thinks that it's a bad movie in general. Now, obviously, y'all know I don't think that. I even saw the movie this for the second time yesterday, and it was better. They're saying they're still hearing the echo. I don't
Coming and going.
I don't get it. I don't know. I don't know what to tell y'all. So
don't worry about it, man.
I don't know. I'll just shut my mic off.
Unless you're talking, obviously, which
yeah,
you were the one that was taking us into the.
I mean, I don't know. They keep saying they hear the echo, so I don't.
Not when you're talking.
It's only when one of us talk that there's an echo. So just mute when we're talking, But like, don't keep it from sharing. What were you saying about the movie?
No, but anyway, like I was saying though. So obviously, I don't think that. Well, one, it's not even about think. So here's the thing, guys. When it comes to filmmaking, there's a certain threshold that you got to hit for your film to even be considered a film at that point. As someone who grew up watching a lot of fucking movies, like I grew up in a family where they went and bought a new DVD every Tuesday. That's when they used to drop, and we used to watch a lot of shit. Now my memory's bad, so a lot of these movies I don't remember, but I've seen a lot of terrible fucking movies. And then later on in life, once I graduated high school, I wound up going to the Art Institute of Atlanta for animation. Don't know what the fuck I was thinking about, and switched my major over to digital filmmaking, and that's where I fell in love with the idea of making a film. That's where I honed my skills as a writer. I was always a decent writer, but it wasn't until I realized I was actually good at doing it. That's where I, started honing my skills, and I was actually, if I would have been able to afford to still go to the Art Institute of Atlanta, which tuition was $90,000, to which, come on, bro, we're black, we couldn't afford that shit. Don't even know why I was there. I probably could have gone and I probably could have gone
90,000 jewels.
I probably could have gone on to be in the industry as a writer of some sort, but that's a whole nother life. There's a certain threshold you have to hit to be considered a movie. But there's also a certain threshold that you have to hit for your movie to be considered a 3.5 out of fucking 10. You know how bad your film has to be? We're talking about your audio has to be bad on an unprofessional level. We're talking about the cinematography has to be bad on a professional unprofessional level. The acting, the theme, inconsistent theme, the color palette. We're talking about the inconsistency of the tone of the film. We're also talking about bad pacing. We're also talking about costume design. That in order for a movie to be considered that bad, and I feel from me personally, that's why I feel like this is such an easy debate, only because Leon was so strong in his critique of the movie, saying that it's a 3.5 out of 10. That's the only reason I took this debate. Now, if Leon would have came out and said, I don't really think it's a great movie, 6.5, 6 out of 10, maybe 7, I don't know, then I would have been like, you know what? He obviously didn't like it because he felt like, you know, it wasn't the kind of Spider-Man movie that he would prefer. Then I would have been like, I'll let him have that. Because a lot of people got that opinion because it's not the Spider-Man movie that they wanted. And when to understand what people are saying in that, a lot of people's idea of what Spider-Man is strictly constricted, a neighborhood Spider-Man fighting his villains, dealing with his characters. Ned Leeds is a made-up character and is not the real MJ.
Ned Leeds isn't the made-up character, mind you.
No, he's Hobgoblin.
Ned Leeds is Hobgoblin. He's not a made-up character. He's actually the Hobgoblin. He's a villain.
Well, I mean, made up in the sense that this is not where the actual comic book Ned Leeds is supposed to be. The same in a way of like they're calling her MJ, but she's not actually Mary Jane Watson, right? So like two made-up characters. So there's that critique.
Well, no, she technically is Mary Jane Watson. She doesn't go by that moniker.
No.
Her name is Michelle Jones.
Yeah, Michelle Jones. Michelle Jones.
Her dad's name is Watson. She doesn't use it.
No. She's Michelle Jones in this movie. That's where MJ comes from. So
well, yeah, I think it was Far From Home. So they said it was Michelle Jones Watson, but she just uses MJ. But it's not even Mary Jane.
It's fucking stupid.
Yeah. So either way, it's not Mary Jane. So that's fake.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like the multiverses version of Mary Jane. Whatever. Fuck out of here. So part of the reason, like a lot of people's idea of what the Peter Parker struggle is it's supposed to be grounded. It's supposed to be him fighting his villains, him dealing with struggle. And my pushback to that is you can't have your cake and eat it too. Because the idea of the MCU Spider-Man is that he lives in a living, breathing Marvel world. And there's plenty of Spider-Man stories in the comics where Spider-Man is dealing with larger stuff where we don't have a whole lot of time to focus on the fact that he's broke or that, you know, he can't pay rent or whatever the case may be, or he's fighting bigger villains that are a little bit more, that are bigger than the neighborhood, so to speak. And so the idea of the MCU version of Spider-Man is that a lot of people were like, oh, what if Spider-Man gets on screen with Iron Man or Captain America or whatever the case? And you got that version of him, but now he's going to forever get this criticism of, oh no, you're just Iron Man light. Oh no, you know, you're not fighting any actual real Spider-Man villains. Like I saw a video where they were saying, oh, it's his fourth film and he still hasn't gotten his own villain. And the criticism is that Vulture is actually a Iron Man villain. Yes. Mysterio is actually an Iron Man villain. Yes. And then of course the villains in No Way Home came from the other Spider-Man villains. And then you got this film, which of course he actually isn't fighting a Spider-Man villain at all. He's fighting an X-Men or whatever the case may be. And so I disagree with that. I don't even have to make the argument that this movie is good. All I have to do is make it an argument that there's no possible way that this movie could be a 3.5.
So first of all, let's establish some terms here, because 3.5, I disagree with the way that you calculate what is and isn't a 3.5. So because you said, 6.5, 7, that would be above average. Because remember, on a scale of 1 to 10, 5 is the average. 5 is in the middle, 5 is the average. I think that this is a below average film, and in a lot of ways, on the filmmaking level, things you described, the themes, the cinematography, the writing in general, the script actually falls apart when you think about it for just a moment. But beyond that, anytime you've got a movie that's part of a franchise, Star Wars, Harry Potter, whatever, they need to be congruent with one another. And when you already have a shaky foundation in previous films, that means that the additional films are going to suffer from problems set up previously unless they do their damnedest to correct them. So a lot of this film's issues, when you take it away, things like the script and the characters and the acting, I do think there's a lot to criticize the acting. It is already on a very shaky foundation because the prior films aren't good films and certainly aren't good adaptations of Spider-Man. So again, that's why when I give it a 3.5, I didn't give the movie a 1. 2, I gave it slightly below a 4, and if 5 is the average, I feel like a 3.5 is very fair, especially when I get into the actual real criticisms of things like the script.
Unmute.
Yeah, you got to unmute, Trace.
So the first thing I want to say is there's two things I want to address there. There's the first part about y'all interrupted me and kind of threw my brain off a little bit.
The filmmaking. He was talking about the scale.
The script. He said the script falls apart. In what way does the script fall apart?
Oh, can I, Leon? Can I please?
Take it away real quick, and I'll see my.
I've been thinking about this all week.
Go for it.
Because the way when you say the script falls apart is when you start to introduce the actual conflict of the movie, which is what's her face,
Jean Grey.
Jean Grey. I think that's where it starts to fall apart, because fundamentally it doesn't make any sense based off of the character that they show in the movie. Because if you go, she's trying to look for her sister, and it's like, okay, why are you then hijacking all of these random people instead of trying to go to the head person? You can do that. And it's seen throughout the whole film that she can get into anybody's mind that she wants to. So she wanted to find out where her sister was. She could have just got to Mr. Milchek from the Department of Damage Control. You know what I'm saying? So when you do that and you don't establish in the film, oh, she can't get to this guy because of X, Y, and Z, it goes, oh, your villain is just evil for the sake of being evil because she could have did this the entire time.
Yeah,
to me, because that's where it falls apart.
She reads their minds as soon as they jump in. So if she just would have jumped in once, she would have already immediately known that her sister was dead. And you know,
and
I think it falls apart for me.
We could spend ages on the Gene stuff. I'm sure we will, but I think there's actually even more.
There's a huge issue.
Well, that's what I wanted to. Well, hold on, wait. That's what I wanted to get to, because, I agree with that. I've already agreed that a lot of the Gene stuff, there's criticism to be had there. I just don't think that the Gene stuff alone is what brings, as far as the script goes.
I don't think that alone brings it down to
right. So that's why I'm anxious to hear the rest of what Leon believes.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
There's a glaring problem, and one that I thought was absolutely really stupid and irredeemable is Peter's going through all these changes, and they don't, that's why they had the inhibitor chip and everything, and he just figures it out because the plot needs him to.
Well, so he doesn't figure it out. But we'll get to that in a moment when we talk about character assassination stuff, because I think they completely character assassinate Peter / Spider-Man this. But from the beginning of the film, near the beginning, we've got the car chase going on, and again, this is why I said that when you've got to be congruent with your previous canon if you're making something in a franchise. So the car chase is happening with Frank Castle and Peter, and they're going after that tank. So if we're supposed to, it's established that this is happening nearly immediately after that Punisher special that came out a couple months ago. Near the end of that Punisher special, he is one of the most wanted men in the world. And now he's just rolling up, driving to New York City. He's living in fucking New York. Nobody's questioning, yo, this is one of the most wanted criminals in the fucking world. What's going on here? So we have no concept and script of how is Punisher now just accepted, might not be the right word, but just off the hook for being there being a manhunt after him for being wanted.
Yeah.
We get into the go for it. You look like you have a thing. Go for it.
Well, I agree with that on the overall premise, but my problem is, if I'm considering myself to be a critic, I'm grading this movie based on, there's two things here. I'm grading this movie in isolation. So I'm not, when I'm watching
it doesn't exist in isolation.
I agree. I agree with that. But see, when I'm a critic, right? If I'm a critic, there's two things I'm taking into consideration. I'm trying to let you know whether or not this movie is worth your time. And there's also knowing that the Disney Plus stuff, most people ain't watching no way. So while we've all seen the Punisher special, we already know that based on previous films and everything else, most people not watching the stuff on Disney Plus. So I don't even think no one's considering that. Also the second thing is, while I agree that he is one of the most wanted people outside of that nigga going, because I asked this question too. I'm like, oh wow, the Punisher's just chilling in the hospital. Y'all ain't calling the police. I did think that. The rest of it, I saw no reason to believe that that like people had just accepted that the Punisher was there.
Yeah,
Well,
but
so
yeah, I mean, it literally
one-
at this
one-
point, when
one
people
sec,
see Frank
Sammy, like-
Castle, they should turn around and run.
yeah, well, so when you say you'll film it, or when you judge it in isolation, if this were an isolated film, I would completely agree with you. The problem is that when you've got a long running franchise like this, it's the entire film is predicated upon previous events, and there is an established canon, there is an established timeline. Most people, when you're like, let's take Star Wars for example. Let's say we watched the original Star Wars, then we watched Empire, then we watched Return of the Jedi. And if out of the blue in Return of the Jedi, they're using fucking 9mm and unicorns are flying around, and Han Solo can all of a sudden use magic as a wand like Harry Potter. In isolation, you could still make a good movie, a good story with all that stuff being there, but it would be a bad movie because it's incongruent with what the universe is set up. And you actually said something similar yourself when you said, hey, this version of Peter Parker is this. He's established in this version in New York. He's dealing with all these threats. So even you are taking into account previous iterations of Peter Parker and what the MCU is set up, meaning that you would accept this established MCU canon, and you are building off that version of Peter Parker from there.
Yeah. I mean, most definitely. But my issue with that though is that this is so. Like I said before, outside of him being in a hospital, I saw nothing to suggest that they were accepting of the Punisher being there. I would argue that him living on that whatever the fuck that was, like living on a pier, was indication that he is living in isolation.
When I said they accepted, maybe I just didn't say it. What I mean is like there seems to be no concept that the writers took into account of like, hey, we just ended his story as the most wanted man in the world. Now we don't see any cops after him or anything. Peter is talking about him as if they've got a pre-established relationship, which means Punisher's been running around doing his thing, even though he's again one of the most wanted people. It's just the Punisher special came out just a few months ago. It was obviously a lead into this movie. I expect, because you were talking about how writing is important for a script, and I completely agree. I want the writers to have this level of consistency. So if you've ended a story like this, I expect that consistency to carry on into the very next story you're telling with this character.
I'm just gonna mute my fucking mic at this point. I can't have this debate while going back and forth with continuing to on and off mute my mic. So I'm just gonna let y'all go at it. And these niggas keep complaining about the echo. I don't know what to fucking do. So
can you put on a headset that'll get rid of it?
Well, also fuck the audience. We're having this debate. If they don't like the echo, fuck them. Because I actually do want to have this conversation with you.
Yeah. I think if you put on headphones, it'll work and it'll be good.
I'll pass.
But okay, well, I gave you a solution. But I think the whole thing, the Punisher thing, that was also something that I thought of. Because when you said, he's living in a living, breathing world, I'm like, yeah, I agree with you. I don't have a problem with other characters like being in the Spider-Man movie if they serve the plot, and they're there in a purpose that isn't just there just to be there. Like I feel like the Hulk thing was just there just to be there because you want the Hulk. He doesn't really serve much, and then once he's gone, he's gone. He doesn't do anything else for the story or whatever like that. So like I do agree with that, but then I also have to agree with Leon, where it's like, yeah, this is the fucking Punisher though. Like he is wanted. There's a manhunt for him. He's a dangerous dude. All these other things. So it's like if we're gonna be in this living, breathing world and we're gonna have this established canon, which we can't disregard because it is the MCU. Like this isn't like Spider-Man 2, and then you have another running series of the Punisher that's not connected. You know what I mean? Like if you have these things going on, there has to be like some kind of like what's the word I'm thinking of? Continuity. Continuity. Yeah. There has to be some good continuity there. Like if you were to start like, and again, it's 4 years later, right? From No Way Home, pretty much. So it's 4 years later, which I really have an issue with them skipping over those 4 years because that looked like the movie that I wanted to see right there. But it's 4 years later. You have to give us something with this character. You can't just go, oh, Punisher is here. And the last time we saw the Punisher was him killing people in an apartment building, and he's chasing this other person or whatever.
See, I don't necessarily agree with that because for one, you're working within a time constraint here. They're not making a 3-hour movie, and you're talking about branching off a whole nother storyline based on the fact that the Punisher is a wanted man. And I do think,
well, it doesn't have to be a storyline. It just has to be a line of dialogue. Like,
well, that's what I was about to say. And maybe this isn't maybe this isn't enough for people, and if it's not enough for people, I totally understand, because I would have wanted at least like it give me like a news anchor saying, you know, Punisher, the wanted vigilante or something like that. But I do think in the beginning with Peter kind of whipping the Punisher's ass was a little bit of an acknowledgement of, oh, like, why the fuck are you here? Like I don't need you here killing anybody. This, that, and the third. It wasn't an acknowledgement that he's a wanted man, but I do think it was an acknowledgement that the Punisher takes it too far, and I don't want him interfering with this. But
yeah, I don't have a problem with that necessarily.
No, and that's kind of how they treat the Punisher in the comics anyway. They're like, you know, like sometimes Frank will show up and they're like, dude, like we do not need your fucking help. Like,
yeah.
He's like that friend where he's like, you having a party, he shows up and it's like, oh shit, all the women run away. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, Frank.
Don't let this nigga drink vodka, please. You know, that's what the Punisher is. But and again, I think that's like one of those things that the movie does pretty bad that would really alleviate all of the issues that I have. It's just continuity things. Like the Jean Grey thing, I would 100% be more forgiving of it if you show me her try to get to Black Man, to get into the safe or whatever, to find her sister, but she can't. For whatever reason, she just cannot, you know, get what she needs out of him. That's why she goes on whatever spree she's going on. Still can't justify her, you know, putting all these innocent people in harm's way. But I would be more
make it a fucking prototype of Magneto's helmet.
Well, something.
So another issue. I want to hear your criticism.
Well, no, I was gonna say I agree with that, with her getting into the vault, because it's like, why you do all of that to get into the vault, and then you get in there and question him when you know you can just get in his head.
Yeah.
That
speaking of getting in his head, I actually sorry, my bad.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So another issue I have with, again, nearly the beginning of the movie. Again, these are just purely script issues before I even get to the lore stuff. So we've got Granny driving the fucking APC into the building, and then Spider-Man gets in there, opens the tank up. He's looking right at Granny. You can look at the shot composition. He's very well within the 33 feet. Jean doesn't know she can't get in Spider-Man's head. What her plan is to use Scorpion, a C-lister nobody villain, to try and eventually break in to damage control and whatnot. But she doesn't know she can get in Spider-Man's head. He's looking directly at Granny while she's possessing Granny. Why doesn't she try to get in his head right then? It's only after this big ass chase scene and they get to the fucking roof, and then she realizes she can fail. But if you've got Spider-Man right there, you're able to get into his head because you don't know you can't. Why not just get in his head right then and use him to go to damage control,
or at least try? And that would, but I think that would make the scene a lot more interesting. He'd go, what the, you know, pretty much like, what is?
Yeah, I'm not saying that she should be able to get in his head. I'm just saying that she's looking at him right in the face. They're like 10 feet from one another. She doesn't know she can't get in his head. Why wouldn't her thought process be like, fuck Scorpion, he's a C-list villain. Why not just get in Spider-Man's head right now and take his happy ass to damage control?
Well, I'm gonna agree with your criticism and slightly disagree with it, with maybe an explanation. I think, based on what I took from the script, there was a little bit of we're kind of the same from Jean. Like, obviously, there hasn't been mutant identified, but she says special. We're special. And so I think she kind of identifies with Peter a little bit. It isn't until Peter starts to get in her way too much that she starts to like really want to get at him, which, I mean, this is only a couple of minutes later. I agree with your criticism. Like, she should have tried to get into his head right away, but I'm thinking maybe a little bit of that is, I don't want to use Spider-Man because I don't want to like fuck with Spider-Man because he's the same as me. We're both special. I don't know. And
that's actually not a bad headcanon. That's a headcanon I'm willing to accept. The thing is, we had to headcanon it. The movie did not properly and it doesn't even need to be explained. Again, you should show, not tell. But the movie doesn't even show us, in my opinion, a reason that she would be thinking that. But again, I think that headcanon is actually probably accurate. I just
She's
think the movie
downright playful with him in the very beginning.
You say what now?
She's downright playful with him in the very beginning. So, like, yeah, that is good headcanon. The problem is they spent too much time on her. She's inconsistent. And a lot of things, they just don't happen in the movie until they just fucking do. So, in other words, like, she can't get into Spider-Man's head. until then he just decides to let her. And like we all kind of knew that was gonna happen. And you know, they shouldn't have just had a conversation with Aunt May. They should have been showing way more of the struggles that Peter Parker is going through. It was like, hey, by the way, like you know, you lost your sister. I lost fucking everybody because of this convoluted fucking spell from the last movie, which all he had to do is just say, hey, I wish no one knew who Mysterio was, and that would have been the fucking end of that. But you know, we had to make the plot go on.
And so here's another. Actually, you remind me of something, Sammy. Thank you. So this is a problem with this is something that could have worked in the movie had they followed the comics more. And I know we're talking about source material and stuff, but there's a reason I'm bringing it up. So Jean knows Spider-Man's a good guy. Why does she know Spider-Man's a good guy? Because in this version of the movies, New York adores Spider-Man. We see it throughout the whole movie. New York adores Spider-Man. So obviously she knows he's a good guy. She thinks he's a good guy. Had we gotten a version of the world that was more like the comics, where New York is very divided, you've got people calling him a vigilante or even a straight up villain, that he's faking all this. Like, you know, traditionally New York is very split on Spider-Man. There'd be reason for her to maybe not trust him or whatnot. But the fact that she knows, and everyone knows Spider-Man's a good guy, he's a hero. She can't just walk up to him and be like, my sister has been kidnapped. I need help. You know, Spider-Man would help a motherfucker out.
Oh, absolutely.
Like just lack of communication. So much of this movie would be over in fucking 20 minutes if she just said, hey, hero of New York that I know you are, can you help someone who has lost their missing sister?
Well,
yeah, no,
of course, from a logical standpoint, I agree with that. But then we could say that about a lot of good movies where, like, if you go and if so and so would have did X, Y, Z, then the movie would have been over.
I do that out live. What other people consider good movies. That's why I mean I'm a pretty harsh reviewer when it comes to, because like it's verisimilitude. The movie wants us to believe in things like a dude who can flip webs and go through the city at breakneck speeds and has spider sense and fights supervillains. It wants us to believe these fantastical things, and I'm down for doing that. But you have to keep the little stuff that makes up the reality grounded so that we can suspend our disbelief for the big stuff. And that's why I'm a big critic of movies in general. I mean,
it's not just that though, Leon. If you it's about the writing though. Like if you write it in a way where you don't have so many of, you could have done A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and it's just like you could have done maybe A or B, and it's like, okay, you can go, okay, they wrote it this way, it's going that way. Maybe you could have went this way or that way, but okay, I can see you going this way. But if I see all these other avenues of ways that you can tell this story and have these interactions and do all these things, then I'm poking holes in your logic too easily. I feel like if I could do that too easily, then you didn't write it tight enough.
So let me get back in here. So like I like I said before, when it comes to the Jean Grey stuff, like I don't have much pushback on you guys. As a matter of fact, what I said was, there was a big debate online about, because I think this is a great Spider-Man movie, but there's a lot of debate online about whether or not it was better than Spider-Man 2. And while I entertained that conversation, I said it can never be better than Spider-Man 2 because Spider-Man 2 is ultimately a complete story. And while you know, it's unfortunate that,
I said that is facts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Spider-Man 2 is a complete story to where when you get up out of the seat, there are no questions, there's no desires about what could have been or what's next. Or it was a complete story, beginning, middle, and end, and the only thing you're waiting on is like, what are they going to do with the next movie? Unfortunately, Tom Holland's Spider-Man will forever be a victim of more questions because it's part of this overall MCU situation. And then ultimately you walk away from this movie like, okay, great, but you didn't mention mutants, and you didn't give us like where has Jean been? Where is Jean going? You know, she didn't answer for any of her crimes. Ultimately, you didn't give us any answer to about, okay, like Ned, does he remember? Does he not remember? Because it seemed like he kind of remembered, but then we're acting like there's no way they can remember. There's actually speculation about whether Jean fixed some of the stuff in their heads to where they might be able to remember. I don't know if I really like that. But with all that being said, I'm still not hearing 3.5.
Well, to be fair, I've only covered the first 10 minutes of the movie. I just brought up all those issues. I'm only covering the first about 10 minutes of the movie.
Okay.
So, now I don't know where you stand on this. So before I continue with criticisms, I actually need to get your view on this because at the end of the day, this is an adaptation. We've had several good adaptations over the years. I mean, I think the Sonic movies are great adaptations. Obviously, the Crown Jewel, Lord of the Rings, considered the greatest adaptation of all time. I'm not opposed to making changes to fit the medium. Shelob is in the second book, not the third one, but in Return of the King, they have Shelob there. Like, obviously, there are things you need to change to make the adaptation work for a different medium. However, there are things that you cannot change. Otherwise, it is no longer, in my opinion, an adaptation of the thing itself. I think this movie does in fact change far too much about the Spider-Man canon to actually be considered a Spider-Man movie. Most of these characters that are adapted from the comics are completely out of character, and so that to me is a failure at the movie making level to successfully adapt.
Okay, and this is where I see there's a lot of people in the chat that agree with a lot of the things that I'm saying, but this is where a lot of y'all are probably not going to agree. And I know that Kata and Leon isn't, but this is where I go back to the conversation of once you.
I know exactly what this nigga's gonna say, dude. I already know what he's gonna say, and before he says it, he's wrong. Before he says it, he's wrong. Go ahead.
I don't care what nobody said. Once you sit down and you play or you watch something and you continue to do so, you've accepted what comes with it. I'm going to give you an opposite example and then not an opposite example. Like, okay, I'm just going to say this. So, for example, the Odyssey. I never went to go and see the Odyssey.
Nor did I.
There was a lot of people who said, despite the race swaps and the gender stuff, it was a really great movie. And I do not doubt that at all. But I refuse to watch it because it's not the Odyssey that I could ever accept. Mm-hmm. I could never accept it, which means I could never review it without any bias. So I'm not going to entertain. I don't accept it. So for me, when it comes to this version of Spider-Man, we all knew this wasn't the real MJ. She's not a redhead, and she's a mixed black woman. Let's keep it a bean. We're not getting Harry Osborn, right? The Vulture's motivations was basically he's pissed off at Tony Stark. Mysterio's motivations was he's pissed off at Tony Stark. You know what I'm saying? But we all continue to go and watch this version of Spider-Man. And not only have we continued to watch, we've grown to, not you guys, obviously, but we've grown to love this version of Spider-Man. So I don't agree with this idea that I can come into not only just the fourth installment of Spider-Man, but like the seventh or eighth appearance of this Spider-Man and come in and say, I'm going to ding this movie because it's not accurate to the source. I mean, you knew that from the first movie.
So I actually do and don't agree. First of all, you didn't actually really address my point, but we'll get back to my point in a moment because I actually think that that's a fair criticism. Like you, I didn't go see the Odyssey because it is inaccurate to the source material. I was not going to see this movie. My chat bullied me for weeks and paid me a lot of money to do so. I was actually going to skip this movie completely. So I get what you're saying. I'm talking about just like before we even talk about this movie, the fourth movie, whatnot, as a concept, as a baseline, would you agree there are certain things about characters or core themes or whatnot within stories that if you're adapting also have to be in adaptation to be a successful adaptation?
I do agree with that. Okay. But that's why I brought up that point is because once I've watched it and I've liked what I like, how I'll just bring it down to a microcosm of criticism. I agree with everyone when we learned that Zendaya was playing MJ. We all cried about that. Oh, shit. Here we go with the woke bullshit. We're race swapping, this, that, and the third. Then I went down and saw the movie, and I don't know about everybody else, but I liked Homecoming. Once I signed up to go and signed up to watch Far From Home, No Way Home, and then I signed up to watch Brand New Day, I cannot then come to my review and say, oh, but I still don't like it. I got to ding the movie because I still don't like Zendaya as MJ. I want the real Mary Jane Watson. I don't believe in that.
I was saying, but why not though?
Because if I know something, if I know something has, I'm trying to make sure I use the right words. So I don't want to put my foot in my mouth. maybe I should use an example. Nah, I don't want to do that. I'll just try to keep it to movies. I know that it has this. We know. So, like, why would I? If I know the movie has something that I cannot accept, then I know I'm going in biased. I know I'm going into this movie like, oh, it's not MJ. This is not the Hobgoblin that we know with Ned Leeds or whatever the case may be. This is not Spider-Man. But I'm gonna go and I'm gonna review it anyway, and then tell you what I already knew before, which is this isn't a comic accurate Spider-Man. That's not telling you whether or not you'll actually enjoy the movie, whether it's a good movie. It's just gonna tell you that, hey, I'm going to confirm to you that this isn't a comic book accurate Spider-Man, which I can't really accept your review because.
Wow. While I agree with that, though, why are those still not good things to dislike if you're looking for an adaptation of something?
Well, wait. I'm not saying that you. I'm not saying that you can't dislike it. I'm saying that me personally, as someone, if I'm a consumer and I'm looking for an opinion on whether or not I should go and see a movie, and then I come to your review and you're dinging it for not being comic accurate or whatever the case, but I've already accepted that this is a Spider-Man that's not comic accurate from the first movie. I can't really take that review serious.
So actually, I have a counter to this because while I don't necessarily disagree, I also think that you're missing a key component, which is whether things are objectively true or not. Like, let's say that a cheeseburger has heroin in it. Let's say McDonald's put heroin in their burgers.
God damn.
Yeah, it's a crazy example, but just follow
like a true white man.
Let's say McDonald's.
You could say any drug, nigga went straight to heroin.
Let's say McDonald's put heroin in their burgers, and you try one not knowing it, and you're like, oh fuck, I'm a high as shit, I could OD on this. Even whether you go and eat a second McDonald's burger or not is irrelevant. You know there's heroin in the burger, and that's objectively bad. So I don't know if that means people accept it. Things can be objectively bad whether you continue to partake in the thing or not.
Well, wait a minute.
I don't think this is a good example.
Wait a minute. Because I'm pretty sure heroin is addictive.
Just like MCU movies.
I don't know about that. I've skipped plenty of MCU. I've skipped some MCU, but like, okay. Heroin is addictive. So if you go back for another burger, I'm pretty sure you're just addicted.
It's kind of not your fault. This is not a good example.
No, you guys, what I'm saying is just whether you consume the thing or not after consuming it once. If there's an option to consume it a second time, whether the bad thing is in there or not, if it's bad, it's bad. It doesn't really matter what the conversation around it is. A bad thing is a bad thing. And I think, for example, we can all agree, hey, a race swapped MJ is a bad thing. That's going to be a valid criticism whether you see the movie or not, because it's just a bad thing.
I agree that we may think it's a bad thing, but see, from my own credibility, if I tell you a race swap, because I agree, we all agree race swaps are bad, but this is why I've been always consistent in my message. Good content doesn't care about your politics. I've always said that on my channel, right? So we all agree that race swaps are a bad thing. But I believe it takes away from my own credibility as a critic. If I tell you race swaps are a bad thing, and then I continue to go and see stuff, I pay my own money to go and see stuff with constant race swaps, and then I tell you every time I say, "Oh, it's bad," because at that point I just feel like I
don't disagree with that. Like, when I review things that are adaptations, I make it very clear up front, so use Resident Evil as an example, that the thing that I hold the highest esteem is lore. I think lore for world building and storytelling is the most important thing, because it's the thing that will keep your universe within the sandbox it should be in. Now, it doesn't mean you can't expand lore, add to lore, but I do, I think that certain things, if you're going to adapt them, need to be adapted properly. Also, certain things, if you change them, can actually mess with the themes or the ideas and messages behind the thing. So we can take race swaps out of it. Let's say the original Sam Raimi Spider-Man films, I, to this day, don't like he has organic webbing. I think that is bad because Spider-Man doesn't have organic webbing. Spider-Man uses synthesized web shooters. I think to this day, no matter how much I love the Raimi films, that is a bad decision. And I ding those movies, even if it's a small bit, because of that decision, because I hold lore to be one of the highest standards of an adaptation.
And I think that's where ultimately your review is always going to disagree with, because
I established that out the gate so that people know that.
Right. And that's great. That's great because there's things that we can criticize for, because I ultimately agree with what you said. Like I don't hate it. Like no, I don't even think I really care all that much. Like we've always known him to use inorganic webbing, and then it's kind of weird. You see, like I remember seeing a trailer for the first time for the Sam Raimi, and it's like, is that shit coming out of him? Like,
Yeah, I
like
same thought.
right. And so, and that's where I go. I'm glad you brought up that example, because once I go and see the first one, and I'm like, oh, that was a great movie. And then I go to the second one and I watch and I go, oh, that was a great movie. And then somebody says, well, I thought you said, you hated the fact that he used organic webbing. Yeah, but ultimately it's a great movie. It was inconsequential. So me personally, I can't go in with good faith and tell you, hey, listen, and not that you would say it was a bad movie. I'm not saying that, but I can't go in good faith and tell somebody, hey, listen, like the movie's great, but there's the organic webbing that I don't like. I just don't think that's something that someone would be like, okay, well,
I think the way to justify it, having opinions like that would be like, so, and this is what I do. Do the positives outweigh the negatives? Spider-Man 2 is a great example. That is a damn near perfect movie. Like, it's actually, I think, it's easily the best comic book movie ever made. Maybe you've got Superman 78 and Ninja Turtles, but like, I'd say Spider-Man 2 might be the best comic book movie of all time. But like, does it have any issues? If organic webbing is the only issue in that movie, then fuck, they did a real good job. I think that Brand New Day has so many issues, they outweigh the good. Like, for example, one of the things that Brand New Day does, and this is not just a Brand New Day problem, this is a Disney problem. Disney has admitted they do this. They use absurd amounts of center frame shots where the action, everything is always in the center. That didn't used to be the norm for movies. The reason Disney has been doing this, and they've admitted the reason they're doing this, yes, is TikTok. They use all these center frame shots because it's easier for content creators to clip it and keep it. I think that is lazy movie making, just like how in Phantom Menace, Star Wars, every single pod racer shot when they go around a curve always pans to the left. You never see it pan to the right.
I think of all the arguments you've made, that might be the most valid criticism as far as when it comes down to the anatomy of a film. Right? The sort of shots you're using a center frame shot so people can get, like, you're thinking about TikTok while you're making a film. You don't get your bitch ass up off my goddamn set. But however, that being said, because what the box office is telling us that most people don't give a fuck about the lore anyway. So if I'm a consumer and I'm going to watch your film, I'm going to read your review, and I've already seen the first 3 movies, I've already accepted this shit ain't lore accurate anyway. So coming back to that, I'm glad you brought up the center frame. I actually grant you a point for that, but I still don't think that brings the actual film. Fuck the Spider-Man shit. From a film perspective, when you say a 3.5, I'm thinking, okay, there must have been somewhere where, and I think I used this example last time. I used this in the chat where I talked about Game of Thrones season 8 when I talked about the long night. When we talk about 3.5,
I accepted your argument because it sounded like you knew what you were talking about.
Chat, when we're talking about a 3.5, that was textbook. We're talking about underexposed scenes where you can barely see the characters. We're talking about some asshole who left a Starbucks coffee cup in the scene. I'm firing my cinematographer for that shit. We're talking about you can barely hear, dialogue in action scenes. We're talking about characters not dying in a show that's been consistently telling you that people are going to die and they inexplicably didn't die. We're talking about character arcs that completely pivoted deviated from what they did all season long, or just story arcs where, like, Arya killing what? Arya? We're talking about Cersei Lannister's brother undoing all of the character growth that he had just to go back. That was a 3.5 in my opinion. So when you say,
never forgive them for what they did to the Dothraki. I'm sorry.
Oh God, don't get started.
Oh yeah, sending them all just fucking
It was so anticlimactic. I almost fucking got up and walked away.
Go on, my bad.
Yeah, so when you say a 3.5, and as a I'll just say a failed filmmaker at this point right now, because I don't have a film that's been made. When somebody gives a rating, my mind, just like when I meet people, like this is a character thing with me. When I meet people, my first thing to do when I meet people is to go, where would they fit in a film, right? Like, what kind of character would they play? I automatically think that when I meet anyone. And then on the conversely, when somebody gives me a rating for a film, I try to compare it to another. And so when you tell me 3.5, then you're telling me it's better than Captain America Brave New World. And that's when I choke. I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about?
I didn't say that because I haven't seen Brave New World, but I know you're probably talking about, Kata. I've never seen Brave New World. And I've skipped almost every single MCU movie since the sequel to Doctor Strange. I've seen a handful, but I've skipped almost, and I've skipped every MCU show since the Black America and Falcon or whatever. Falcon Winter Soldier, that's what it was. I've not seen Loki. I've not seen Ant-Man 3. I've not seen it. So I'm going, like, when I'm looking at this film, because I agree with you about comparing it to other films. The thing is, I think a lot of people have recency bias and they only compare it to recent films when we've got 100 years of filmmaking. I can look at the 1954 Godzilla and say, despite that being in black and white, I think that is an objectively far better made film than Brand New Day.
That may very well be the case. The reason I'm doing that is because we're talking about the nature of a comic book film, and I don't want to compare it to something where it simply has no chance to convince anyone that it's better. Like, I'm not going to compare Spider-Man Brand New Day to Footloose because it's. And then there's also the nostalgia that's a whole nother conversation. There's the nostalgia thing where there's certain people that's walking amongst us where nothing new could ever be better than the old. And so
I don't like that mentality as well. Like there's a lot of new shit that's really fucking good that's better than the old. Like, guys, look, I love me some Star Wars video games from the PS2 era. As much as we hate Disney Star Wars, it was just some pretty good goddamn Star Wars games I like better than that PS2 Star Wars stuff. Like, so no, I agree with you there. But I'm glad you brought up nostalgia because I think that plays into sort of a similar but different thing, because you're talking about all these people who accepted this version of Peter Parker. And I think that's because Spider-Man is one of the most successful, famous IPs.
Well, I'm sorry. You still never heard of it. It didn't happen. Just you don't even think about it. It ended in season 7.
It ended in season 6, actually.
But Spider-Man has become part of the zeitgeist to where that, look, normies. My little sister is, not only was she normie, she was the preppy type. She was the one that was like, she was a cheerleader. She was buying all the clothes at Aeropostale. Meanwhile, you got Black Sheep Leon over here, who's like watching fucking anime and playing video games. We are so diametrically opposed when it comes to our interests and stuff. But growing up, we still both love Spider-Man because Spider-Man has permeated into the zeitgeist. So I think that you are going to have, even if this is a bad Spider-Man movie, the iconography of Spider-Man alone, and it doing just enough to kind of put the shiny veneer, the style over substance of what it is to be a Spider-Man movie on public display is enough for the vast majority of people. Now it's not enough for me from as a lore purist, but it's also not enough for me on a filmmaking scale, because I think there are massive issues with the script. I think the acting, we don't want to talk about the acting. When your best actor in the movie, I think the one that does the best acting is fucking Ned Leeds. Dude's in like 4 scenes. I think that Zendaya is horrible in this. I think that Tom Holland is maybe say mid. No,
I can't
agree with you.
Most likable Zendaya's been in these movies.
This was the best she's been as fake MJ throughout all the movies.
I at no point during the movie, but her performance, Tom Holland.
That scene on the roof did nothing for you.
Dude, that's
in the boat.
Diabolical.
The boat scene between them did nothing for you.
This could be a problem with the script and not her acting, but the reason that scene did nothing for me is because I saw that coming a mile away. There was actually no surprise at all in this movie. So when things were happening, I was like, yeah, saw it coming. So when they introduced Black Dude of Damage Control,
I think your heart is turning cold.
Huh?
I think you're turning into the real life fake Leon right in front of our eyes.
There were no surprises in this movie. When they introduced the Black Dude head of Damage Control early in the movie, I was like, he's the real bad guy. He's the main bad guy.
I feel you on that.
So
but
I'm saying,
so like going to that rooftop scene, up until the moment she hugged him, that's when I figured it out. That's when I was like, nah, that's not her. And it was like, that's why I was like, it was they And that's why I say when you said its script fell apart, like obviously with the Jean stuff, I get it. But there's stuff they clever like they set up cleverly, in my opinion, and then made you think about it later on. Like, of course that wouldn't work. Like when he figured out the 33 feet and he trapped her in the helicopter up above and said, "Good." I genuinely like I don't know why. I genuinely believe that she couldn't travel, 33 more than 33 feet after that until after she possessed Zendaya again. And then I thought about it. I'm like, wait, what a fucking minute. Of course she was going to be able to just disconnect from the nigga and go and connect to somebody else.
Yeah. So, oh, my bad.
No, you got it. Go ahead.
What was that, Sammy?
But yeah, when she traps him in the helicopter and he's like, "You're not jumping anywhere," like, wouldn't she just lose connection with that guy too? Like, is she? There's a couple things. I do have to bounce. Lights, camera, citation is starting. They're probably already started, but yeah, Leon, this movie has problems. I thought there was a fun factor. You're never going to get like a true blue Spider-Man adaptation because they brought him in late to the MCU and they had to make decisions. Some decisions work organically for the world that he's in, and that might be a detriment to some of the source material, but it's the one that we got. And I don't dislike Tom Holland's adaptation of Peter. I think he plays him fine. I think a lot of things is they just can't make up their minds. This is obviously a vehicle to push that, we're going to get new X-Men and it's not going to be like the regurgitated like Fox characters over again. We'll see them again in Doomsday and in Secret Wars, but they're at least planning on going forward with Flash Blood, which is what they should do in the MCU altogether. Like, use this multiverse bullshit as an opportunity to start casting younger actors so you don't have these bloated budgets where you're paying Robert Downey Jr. $90 million fucking dollars just to like show up and get his ass.
They are definitely casting younger. But okay, so with all that being said, you said the movie has problems, which I agree with. But is it a 3.5?
I still thought it was like a 7 or an 8.
Well, look, Sammy understands. I'm gonna get to why I think this movie resonates with people, but I don't want to hold you up, my boy.
Yeah. No. It's fine. I told you about it before it started, but I liked it. My wife liked it. There's plenty of things that I could harp on and say was wrong. At the end of the day, I left the theaters going like I enjoyed the movie. There's things I wish they would have elaborated on more. There's shit that I wish they would have cut out a little bit more. There's conversations between characters that I thought we were going to get that we didn't really get. I mean, just that stupid like handshake with Ned at the end. You kind of wanted to see them, bro out a little bit more, you want, but that's kind of like Spider-Man to a T is, shit doesn't always go the way that Peter wants it. And he rolls with the punches. And I don't think it was a 3.5, but yeah, there were problems, but a lot of good movies have problems. I mean, if you look at the bank robbery scene in The Dark Knight, it's absolutely fucking ridiculous.
Yes. That's a good one. I always bring that one up because it pisses me off.
Oh, as soon as you see the bus drive in with the other buses, I was like, "There's no way this motherfucker planned that."
You know what? I used to think about that, but it's like it's kind of like where I let that shit bury in my brain. Like,
oh yeah.
So the motherfucker, what if he would have been like 2 minutes too quick or 2 minutes too late?
Oh,
like.
Yeah. No, it's rule of cool though. You have to give these things.
I think Dark Knight, that opening scene, it earns its rule of cool. I think there's things in this movie that doesn't. Like, when Jean Grey, who's had this horrible, traumatic, awful life, and she jumps in Punisher, and then she makes a joke. Oh, well, this guy has issues. Like, I don't think it earned that joke. Like, I don't think we earned Punisher crying. I don't think we earned Punisher saying that he was wrong to take the shot. I think that we did not earn the Hulk for some reason miraculously remembering Peter. And even if he did, Hulk and Spider-Man have no history together in the MCU. What do you mean? It's your friend Peter Hulk, and then he just talks the Hulk down. I think that's antithetical to the Hulk. I don't think the movie earned that. Like, if you're gonna have your real cool stuff, look, I like me some real cool shit, but you have to earn it. And
you're
I
right.
don't think
You're
the movie
right.
did.
Spider-Man clipped out. He wasn't. He
Yeah,
wasn't there for
Spider-Man has no.
But but the Hulk is resistant to like mind control and stuff. So, but yeah, he would have no business. Yeah, you're right.
Resistant is a strong word. I feel like the Hulk gets manipulated, and then like 30 minutes after he done destroyed 2 cities, that's when he started resisting. It's like, nigga, like, can we get some defenses? Not can we get some? It's like they said. It's like when Tony said we're the Avengers, not the Prevengers. It's like, Hulk, your ass need a ring camera on your fucking head or something.
Well,
Because
that's another thing they're inconsistent with. Like, he is supposed to be resistance to mind control. He's been taken advantage of in at least like 3 movies where they're trying to like slow him down. He did an Age of Ultron. I mean, it was more a little bit in Thor Ragnarok, but he was just kind of, that was like a Bruce Banner thing. And then this. But yeah, no, it doesn't feel there was things that doesn't feel earned. Like, if you wanted to make it feel earned, you would show us what happened on Staten Island instead of just talking about it.
Yeah, but but then at the same time, there's got to be some responsibility on our viewership to know that you can't pack everything in a movie. You just can't.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I know.
I will say it all comes together for me just to watch John Barenthal with the Spider-Man mask on, like waving at everyone, still doing like the Marine grunt out the window where he's got the fucking. Hey, listen. I know you got to go, Sammy. We could be here. I did enjoy this debate. I will say though, there's not much of anything that I disagree with Leon on. I'm still not seeing the 3.5 though. I totally agree.
I have not even
the
begun
Leon
to
is
tear
he's
the apart,
consistent with his stuff. So like when sometimes I don't find him to be a true contrarian. I think he does set these parameters for everything that he ingests. So like, it's hard to be mad.
No, he's like a journal. He's like a gaming journal where the fucking title,
like that?
The fucking title is insane, and then you start reading it where it's like, I get it, but what the fuck is wrong with the title?
It's like
that.
Tear this movie apart to you guys. That's the thing. I was like, but I have Badgers showing fucking soon, so fuck, we're not gonna be able to. Anyway, we can keep going.
All right. Well, I'll leave you guys to it. Always great hanging out with you. Thanks for having me on. Wish we could have, started this conversation a little bit earlier, but
it's all good.
Leon was quitting.
3.5 is just for the love of the game. That's
I'll see you guys later.
All right, man. Appreciate you, dog.
I think that most people look at 7 as the average, and that's not how I treat a 1 to 10 scale. Like, 5 is average, and I think there's a lot of issues with this movie, with its script, its pacing, with the shot composition, that do actually drag it down to below average. I think that the score, for example, is completely forgettable. I'm replaying the Insomniac Spider-Man game right now. Dude, it's got such a great score. Like, I'm thinking about the score to that game when I'm not playing it. I can't remember a single fucking bit of music from this movie.
I do agree. Like, there are some part of the score that I love in this movie. Some of the song choices for some of the scenes I'm not really jiving with.
I don't know that Impala song when he's going up into the apartment.
Oh, the Tame Impala song?
Yeah, that's a fucking.
I like Tame Impala.
Well, I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like. But see, sometimes I feel like we get to this point where if it ain't great, it's terrible. And so while the score isn't something like overly memorable, it doesn't help bring it down to a 3.5. That's the part I'm hanging on to. And I think that's the ultimate crux of this argument. Like, in an actual debate, there's not much for us to even have a shouting match over. You know what I'm saying? It's not much for, like, your criticisms of the Gene situation is like, I ain't gonna say flawless, but it's up there. Like, when it comes to debating, it's up there. When it comes to the lore stuff, like, I'm not about to, like, bro, I know where I'm at when it comes to debates. I know where I'm not about to argue with you about lore. You know what I'm saying? That's not something I'm equipped to do. I didn't read the comics growing up, so I'm not about to do that.
Spider-Man was what helped teach me to read. I've been reading Spider-Man comics since I was about 4 years old. They were that's what helped me learn to read.
Right. So I'm not getting into a debate with Leon about lore on that, and damn sure not no Resident Evil. I'm not doing that. But when
I wouldn't do the same to you about Halo. I love playing Halo growing up. I'm not a fucking lore guy about Halo. I know.
Right. Well, I think Kate is more of a lore guy because I think Kate done read some of the books or some shit like that when it comes to Halo. But when it comes to the anatomy of a film, that's where I felt like that's where the 3.5 is ticking in my brain because
Well,
I've
so,
seen
the 3.5 is a culmination of I think that like if we were just to score this film on the anatomy of a film, I would probably give it about a 5.5. I'd say it's slightly above average, but I think all the things that I think are necessary for an adaptation in terms of like the theme, the core characters, and what they represent, the messaging, I think that all of that drags it down. So I'm looking at this from two perspectives, like because I mean when you've got a character and an IP. And it's an adaptation as massive as Spider-Man. There is 80 years of history. You've got comics, other movies, video games. Like one of the key things about Peter Parker is that he's broke, right? One of the key things about Peter Parker is he's broke. Yet in this movie, they want us to, just because the throwaway line about being a dumpster diver in a previous film, they want us to believe he can build Tony Stark-esque AI. And then in the movie itself, Spider-Man, another core part of his character is that he is a problem solver, and the AI does most of the work for him in this movie. I think that is a huge problem from a character perspective, is our hero actually rarely does anything himself. The AI solves most of the problems. It's the one that takes the picture of Jean and tracks her. Zendaya is the one that figures out the thing about his eyes. Punisher bails him out multiple times. Like I think that is intrinsically antithetical to the character of Peter Parker, and that is
and here's the thing. I want everybody to know the crux of this argument. I don't disagree with anything he just said. The problem is because I've already accepted this Peter Parker, this Spider-Man, I can't in good conscience be like, now I think the MJ figuring out that part about his eyes for him, I do think that diminishes even this version of Peter Parker. I like even the MCU version, like he's supposed to have an intellect. Like Tony trusted you with his legacy, you have an intellect on par with his. There's no way in hell that
right.
MJ, as smart as y'all try to portray her to be, she's not on that level of intellect. So I do believe that is a valid. I'm with you when you're right. So there's no pushback there. But I think we've been on it long enough, guys. 10:45.
Yep. And Badger's about to start in 15 minutes, and I think I'm just gonna DoorDash the alcohol. There's no way I can have time to run and go get it now, so fuck it. I'm gonna DoorDash me some alcohol. But
yeah,
I appreciate the debate. I think this is great, and it was a lot better than some other debates I've had with people.
No. I hey, listen, when you and I debate, I think it should get ignorant over here, but it can get some high intellectual shit over here for real.
Again, like you write shit in the group chat that's so fucking like well thought out and well articulated. Then you do your videos and just like drop it in bombs saying funny shit. I'm like, I see two different fucking traces because one of the motherfuckers writing, you would think he was white. Like
that's insane, but I'll allow it. I that's cool though. But I know you got to get up out of here, so we're gonna hold you too much longer. Me and Kater got at least 2 more topics that are in the title that we have not addressed, so we got to at least dabble in those a little bit.
Well, I'll see you on the flip flop. Have fun. Hope you're great in the Badger. We'll see. And then I got my show tonight. Deuces, crew.
Peace.
All right, man. Peace.
Peace out, man. That was Words of Paradise and also Sammy. I know why this film though. I know why it's resonating with a lot of people, and I didn't really get it until I heard somebody else talk about it. There's just like one of my normie friends. He's like he can relate to the film so well because it's actually a film about male depression and loneliness, and it's like you're kind of right. Like it's a Disney movie. You wouldn't expect them to make a movie like that, and that was something I thought of as well when I was watching. I'm like, it's a movie about loneliness and not being alone and overcoming the past and all these other things. While it does have issues, like there are some issues with obviously Gray, some issues with like world building and things like that. That's like the crux of the story, and it resonates with a lot of people. Like it resonates. So
that's why I got so offended. That's why I got so offended when he said he thought Zendaya's acting was terrible, because like the two, like you can talk about the action and all the stuff like that, but the two most memorable scenes to me was on that rooftop and on that fucking boat, bro. When
Yeah,
she
those are
looked,
great scenes.
when she looked that man in the eyes and said, "I don't love you, bro." I was in the theater.
No, there was. I went
I
with
was sick, dog.
I went with a lady friend, and her and all the other girls in the entire row were crying. All of them. They were all crying. I'm like, fuck. And I was like, God,
You can see that nigga soul. That's the thing. That's why I was so excited about the acting, because you can see the soul. And listen, ever since, I know it might be corny, but ever since that I almost say Instagram, that Infinity War scene with Peter dying, and he played, because they said he improv that, and that was I knew he was taking that shit seriously. And when it looked like he fucking got his soul snatched when she said that shit. Man, that shit. Hey, but whatever, man. We got other shit we got to get to. So we're gonna get to these other two topics, and then we're gonna read y'all super chats. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to y'all coming back to the stream. Spoiler Coon is gone. Everybody say goodbye to the Spoiler Coon. He's out of here.
Yeah. All right. So, White X-Men. Guys, we got to talk about. We got to talk about the X-Men.
Let me bring it up, boys, because I don't think y'all understand what's happening.
Well, bring up the cast first.
I think y'all understand what's happening.
But before I want to get the funny out the way first, because that's just going to get serious. Just one little funny, because this shit is egregious. This shit right here is fucking egregious. All right, when this shit happened, nigga, I almost died.
Taco Bell be snatching my bowels. I need to stop reading the chat, bro. Y'all just be saying shit. Oh, okay. Where's the funny, bro? Oh, guys, I guarantee you, he closed his browser. I guarantee he closed it. He closed it. He had to.
No, I didn't close it. It's doing that. It's doing that bullshit again where it won't let me share my tabs. So, you know, I don't know what y'all want from me. I tried. You know what I'm saying? Like I tried so hard.
But in the end, it doesn't even matter. In the end,
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try it again, but I'm gonna try it a different way.
Let's see if he gets it.
Hold on.
We're gonna see it. We're gonna see if he's able to pull up the tab.
Here we go.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right. Shout out. If you haven't seen this shit, bro, listen to it. This happened on live TV, by the way.
I love to show the texture and this wave pattern. Again, it looks like you went and got a blowjob at your blowout at your salon. Oh my God. And it looks beautiful.
All right, so here's what's happening today. We're having a huge beauty sale. Everything ships to you for free, but that goes away at the end of the day. I will remind you that this is a one-time only price, where the price goes up at the end of the
Look. The other lady, like, I'm trying to give one of those too. That's what she like.
Hey, that's the one of those situations where if I'm the producer, no, you're not fired. You're promoted. Because I needed that laugh.
Oh, you think about blowjobs, huh? How you think about a little raise?
Meet me in my office. All right, now we can get back to the topic.
Oh, all right, boys. Let's get to something else that's funny. And that's the reactions. That's the reactions to the X-Men castings, because there's been a lot of rumored castings. There's only been two confirmed actual castings. Okay, obviously we have the Sadie Sink as Jean Grey, and then we have what's her name weaving? What's her fucking name? It's an Australian broad playing Emma Frost. You know, so check this out, boys. Check this out. this is the rumored new X-Men cast. You know, we got this dude, I think his name is Kit Connor, as Scott Summers, you know, Sadie Sink. I forgot her name, but I've seen her in some other stuff, and I'm not gonna lie, she's kind of hot. I'm not gonna lie, she's kind of hot, like on a normie level. I don't know how to explain it. She has like this that regular bitch look to her, but it's kind of hot. I don't know how to explain it. We got this dude who's supposed to be playing Beast, and then we have her Samara. Okay, Samara Weaving playing Emma Frost. Now, I want you guys to tell me, what do you notice about these castings? All right, and just think about what could make a bunch of randos on Twitter upset. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get a couple guesses. What do y'all think? Oh my god. No beggars. They're good looking. That's another one. That's another one. Hey,
But
shout
pause
out
on that. Pause on that, because there's some men in there.
kind of pause. Hey, but you know what? Shout out to Robbie Robb who got it first. They're white. They are white. They are white. The white characters that are white in the comics have been casted as white actors. I can't believe it, but it's actually happening. The X-Men are white again. It's going to be a white boy summer when that boy Scott Summers pulls up and he's not a Negro. Okay, shout out, man.
Man, hold on. Listen, first of all, before we even get into the hilarity of it, right? I just want to give Disney a round of applause for having the balls to do what you just did. Let me go ahead and get some ass. Because if y'all remember, I don't know if it was a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever the case may be, when we knew they were going to be making a new X-Men, I'm pretty sure on one of these streams we said, how many race swaps do we think there's going to be?
It was something like that.
And I can't believe it. No, I don't know if Beast is that he looks kind of Asian to me. Is he Asian?
I think he's like Pacific Islander or something like that.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Beast is that, but you know what? Fuck it. We'll accept. We're fine with that. You also have the opportunity for Bishop and Aurora. Okay. You're gonna have Psylocke. Guys, the X-Men are already diverse. Okay. It's literally the mutants. You're gonna have opportunities for diversity. All right. Sunspot, I'm sure, like, ain't Sunspot something? No, he might not be. He might be traditional.
Sunspot's black, I think. Yeah, Sunspot is black.
So okay,
they made him Latino or whatever in the show, but I think he's black.
I thought it was like low key like Indian or Middle Eastern or something in the show or something.
I think so. Yeah, anything but black.
Yeah, whatever. There's going to be opportunities for diversity, obviously. I mean, Storm is literally one of the most iconic X-Men of all time. Like anytime there's X-Men content, Storm is there. Actually, I would be shocked if she wasn't in the movie. Oh God.
That
Can
would
you
be
imagine an X-Men movie without Storm?
That would be an L.
You said that would be a what?
That would be an L for sure.
Yeah, that would be an L. Niggas is still complaining about this echo.
It's a trace. He has the echo. He has the echo, gang. He has it. But no, fucking, I can't believe that I have to do this, and I can't believe that I have to say what I'm going to say, but I have to give Disney some props because it takes a lot of balls to make an X-Men movie and have not only an attractive cast, but also having
Balls.
mostly, the general attractiveness. I'm not going to, you would never sit here and go, well, these are not conventionally attractive men. Okay. That would be lying. That would be lying.
I just need one more thing though. Just please, Disney, please. Just one more thing. Oh, I got it. Just do it.
I mean, you
For
really
crying
got
out
no
loud,
choice
just do it.
now. You don't really got no choice now. I mean, the X-Men are a younger cast. Samara Weaving, I think she's in her late 20s. Most of these people are like in their 20s, mid 20s. How old is that chick from Sinners? How old is she? Oh, let me see.
Oh
How
yeah,
old
she
is
definitely in her 30s. She might be too old.
Yeah, I think she in her 30s. Let's see. I mean, it wouldn't Perline. Oh no, she 28. She 28, bro. There you go. I ain't gonna lie. If they cast her as Storm, I take back almost everything bad I've said about Kevin Feige. Almost.
He said almost everything. Listen,
Almost.
if they cast her as Storm, I'm telling y'all, I might even pre-order the tickets. And make no mistake, if you wanted to go and see Spider-Man, you had to pre-order them tickets.
Nah, facts. Shit was sold out.
Oh, by the way, nigga, I found a popcorn bucket on Walmart for like $30.
Lucky motherfucker. Mine was sold out. Even the regular one, just like the regular popcorn bucket with the apartment building. That one was sold out too. Everything was sold out.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I'm about to check on the status of my order.
Yeah, you can have that. You can have it. But I ain't gonna lie to y'all, boys. This is all rumored casting, by the way. Okay. Well, almost all rumored casting. Samara Weaving, I think she's the only one that's confirmed officially that's actually going to be Emma Frost, obviously Sadie Sink, and everybody else, they're all just like rumored. But the rumor is, they're moving fast, like they're moving very fast with these characters because they're trying to progress making the X-Men movie, and they want to present this according to Wizard, they're trying to present this at D23. They want to do a little rollout and have everybody come out or whatever. So they're really speeding along this casting process. And as fast as all this news is coming out, and like you're hearing multiple different actors and actresses are being seen for these roles, it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense.
Let's get to the niggery of it all.
I got it. If y'all want to see, because remember we were talking about, hey, that looks good. That if you think about the X-Men, that is a damn good like fan cast. If these were fan casts, I'd be like, you know what? That's spot on. And if those are true, good job. You know what? Because you just cast a very good looking X-Men team, and it looks accurate to the comics. So clearly, that means that some idiot on the internet is going to be upset about it.
X-Men is created from the oppression of what black people go through in real life, and we're being told to shut the fuck up about representation in X-Men. No, the fuck it wasn't, you retard.
Every time I see this take, it makes my fucking balls itch. Like
I'm putting it out there, an open invite to any nigga who wants to debate this shit. Let me ask you this. If the X-Men were created to mimic what black people were going through in real life, why would they make the cast mostly white? Like, what the fuck sense does that make? Oh, I'm going to make a group of superheroes. Matter of fact, not even the superheroes, the entire mutant population, right? I'm going to make them based on the struggles that blacks are going through. And I'm going to create like 4 blacks as mutants. The fuck sense does that make? Not only, I'm going to create Charles Xavier, in the image of Martin Luther King, and I'm going to create Eric Lyncher or whatever the fuck that real nigga's real name is, in the image of Malcolm X, but one is a British white man and the other one is a goddamn Jew. Not black. Who? Because he knew that the papers wouldn't accept black people I guess that's why they made Black Panther then, huh? You can't make this shit up. I guess that's why they made Black Panther in a fictional world where Africans are smarter than everybody because they got vibranium. I guess that flew, but apparently a group full of niggas wouldn't. Bro, you can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up, dog. Go ahead.
I absolutely hate this take whenever I see it. It really makes me angry because there are people that believe this. There are people that think that the X-Men were created as an allegory for the civil rights movement. There are people that genuinely believe this nonsense.
Stop. You're out of here. Goodbye. We'll see you next stream, Sever Snoop. Your time is up.
But
Go
there
ahead.
there are people that genuinely believe this nonsense. And it's just not true. Like, not only is it not true just because you sound retarded and, you know, it feels good to say that it's not true. It's literally not true. Stan Lee created the X-Men because he was tired of coming up with superhero origins for his characters. That is why he created the X-Men. The nigga got tired of coming up with all these stories. And look at this. MCU Cyclops didn't have to be white, and I kind of wish he wasn't. He did because Scott Summers is white.
Nigga, have you ever met a nigga named Scott?
Scott Summers. The whitest name of all time. Can we be serious here?
Is Scott the whitest name?
Scott Summers? That's a white man's name.
It is a white man's name, but the whitest white man name? I don't know.
If you're talking about a white man's name, Scott Summers, you would never question if that was a white man or not.
No, I think Connor is more white than Scott.
Nah.
Yeah. I think Connor is a little bit more like Connor is like literally the opposite of like Marquavius or something.
Fucking Scott Summers. Like if you're like say you're like at a graduation and they go Scott Summers, no one would be is that a black guy? No one, literally no one would ever do that. And I just don't. I hate that take. Not just because it's not true, but for the other reason of you motherfuckers are so insecure. You're so stupid. You're so fucking like insecure in your own skin color that y'all have to harp on the white characters.
Oh fuck! Kid Cudi's name is his last name is Scott. No, that don't count. That just means that your ancestors was dabbling in some slave owners, or the slave owners was dabbling in them. But his first name ain't Scott.
But you motherfuckers you're so insecure, dude. You're so needy to feel represented to the point that you don't even look for the real representation, because I don't know if you guys know this. All right. I don't know if y'all know this. And I'm speaking to not just y'all in the chat. I'm speaking to the people on the interwebs. I don't know if you guys are aware. There are black X-Men, not just X-Men, black mutants. I will name off a few that I just know off the top of my head. Obviously, you have Storm and you have Bishop, who needs more love. You also have Cinch. You have Darwin. Everybody forgets about Darwin. What about Darwin? He would be cool. Let me think of another one. Matter of fact,
you mean the nigga that got a ball stuck in his mouth and blew up in first class?
Please don't remind me of that. Please don't remind me of that. The one character that can't die and they literally fucking kill him off. Please. Stop.
That was like one of the one times where I kind of agree with the actor where he was complaining because he was like, yeah, they set it up and act like I was gonna beat somebody and just destroy it. It's like, damn nigga, you ain't read the script.
That was please, I'm gonna get fucking mad thinking about that. Like, you really killed the one character that literally cannot die because he can adapt. But okay, here we go. What? I actually don't know this one. Frenzy. Who is that? I actually don't know that one. Prodigy. I do know Prodigy. There are different other. There are. Oh, Cryptid just said the one I was about to say. You could even bring an original character from the 2000s X-Men show, Spike, into the MCU. He's never been seen again. By the way, never seen again after the 2000 show, and he was a pretty cool character. There are so many black characters that you can use and bring to the forefront, and just put in the work to make people like those characters. That's all you got to do is put in the fucking work. But it's the same thing like with Captain Nigga America. Y'all don't want to put in the fucking work to make these characters stand out on their own. Look at this. Okay, now it's time to add some melanin. Shut your bitch ass up. Like, I can't. What do you mean? We need POCs and gays ASAP. Now, Kevin Feige, hold on, go scroll back up, please. No. Go back to that one. Go back to that one. I hope Mr. Bug is in the chat, okay? Because I want you to clip this. Kevin Feige, do you see this tweet right here where it says, we need POCs and gays ASAP in regards to your new X-Men casting? I need you to understand, these are not the people that you need to be signaling to. You want to know why? Because these are the exact same people that were saying, we need more Captain Marvel. We need Yelena to work somehow. We need Ironheart. We need all these other characters. We need Captain Nigga America. We need all of that. And then when the chips were down and y'all made this stuff for them, they didn't show up. Not only did they not show up, the audience that you cultivated did not show up. So I'm fucking begging you, okay? Because you have nowhere to go but up. DC is clearly fucking retarded. It doesn't want any money. So you have all the opportunity. Please, for the love of God, do not add gay Iceman to this X-Men roster. I will crash the fuck out. Please, if you're gonna add a POC, make it Storm, make it Bishop, make it Darwin. You can do all those things. But do not, and I repeat, do not try to write these characters to signal to these fringe weirdos on the internet, because they are not your audience.
Would you be opposed to them making an original?
No. You want to know why? Because they're mutants. It's not that hard. I mean, hell, we were just talking about Spike. That's an original character. He was original for the show, and he was cool. And he was black. And you know what? Nobody gave a fuck. But it would also depend on the writing, though. It would also depend on the writing. So I don't know, man. I just, when I see these tweets, it's like, these are not the people that you need to be signaling to. These are not the people that you need to be listening to. Because first of all, these niggas ain't got no money. They don't have any money. They're not going to the theater to watch your movie. They're not going on Disney Plus to watch your show. They're watching that shit on pirate websites and Twitter. They don't have any money. And second of all, there's not as many as them as you think there are. They're not out there for real. There is not an audience for this kind of shit. You want to know how you know? You tried that for the last 7 or 8 years, and it hasn't fucking worked. It doesn't work. Oh, but look how many likes it has on Twitter. Oh, there's definitely an audience for this stuff. There's likes
because
on Twitter.
It's easy. It's easy to like a Twitter post. It's easy to retweet something. It's easy to quote tweet something. You don't even have to speak in complete sentences when you quote tweet something. It's easy, but it takes effort to get out of the bed, get dressed. No, get out of the bed, get your stinking ass in the shower, brush your
take that out. They ain't getting in the shower.
But that's my point. That's my entire point. It takes effort to do that. It takes effort to get in the shower, wash your ass, brush your stinking ass teeth, put on some decent clothing, get in the car, put some gas in it, drive to the theater, and then have the audacity to pull $20 out of your pocket and buy a ticket for a movie. It takes effort to do that. And these motherfuckers have TikTok brain. That's too much for them. which is why you shouldn't be that. Why do you think they're so passionate about this? The passion that we have, we take that passion and put it into something worth something, like buying a game and actually playing it, so you can see on our Steam account that, hey, we actually played that game. That going to the movie, having an entire 1 hour debate on Spider-Man because we actually put the passion into going to see the movie so we could talk about it. Even the people who have reaction channels that talk about it, they have passion enough to spend money on it. But if you ever actually listen to them motherfuckers, they're not actually as liberal as they try to lead on. It's more like, oh, I'm an ally. It's never I'm an advocate. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you shouldn't even listen to these people because they don't have the passion to even support. They got enough passion to write a post on Instagram or Twitter, and that's it.
That's it. These people are not your audience, bro. They're not your audience. We're your audience. The people that are upset about how the MCU has been, we're your audience. We're not doing that because we don't like the things that you're adapting. We actually do like those things, and we want you to stop fucking it up.
Oh, and let me say this as well. No more of the superhero fatigue shit. That shit's dead. It's dead. I know Spider-Man might be an aberration. Maybe it could be, but I don't believe so now. I believe if you get that script right, and first of all, you gotta be comfortable with starting small. Decrease the budget. Spider-Man earned its budget. And I'm not talking about the box office. I'm saying this because it's not like Spider-Man is impervious to a bad box office. The Amazing Spider-Man series told you that. Right? Those were bad movies and nobody liked them, which is why they didn't perform well at the box office. But if you get a character and let them earn their budget, meaning if you give me a Blade movie with a $70 million budget and it's a good movie, the sequel can earn a $150 million budget. And if that's a good movie, the third one can earn a $200 million budget. Don't give me some bullshit off the rip with a $250 million budget when you know we ain't. Don't you bring your ass out here with a America Chavez movie, $150 million budget. Have you lost your mind? I don't even want to see that with a Moon Knight. But if you give me a Moon Knight movie that's low, grounded, minimum budget, but you work on it, because I firmly believe if you minimize the budget, then you maximize the creativity.
Yeah. You got constraints. You gotta get creative.
So yeah. The superhero fatigue, that shit's cooked. I don't want to hear that. I guarantee you, if we start seeing some good things like good trailers, good teases, maybe, a little indication of what the story might be about, and people like it, I don't see any reason why the next X-Men franchise can't do what the Spider-Man movie is doing right now. At some point, not right out the gate. But I don't see any reason why.
Just comes down to that writing. Come down to that writing, bro. Just make something that looks interesting to the audience. Like, I'm so glad that you brought that up. Because y'all already know we gotta do a pack watch, dog. Spider-Man Brand New Day is already past $1.4 billion. Let me rephrase that. It's been out a week. And it's already past $1.4 billion. You haven't seen numbers like this since Endgame. Even No Way Home wasn't doing numbers like this. And
This
yet
is
I was
Avatar level shit. This Avatar.
Bro, even Avatar wasn't making 1.4 billion in a week. It took it like 2 or 3 weeks. And the last one, that is how much the last one made. 1.4 billion. So it's already past that.
Wait. No Way Home only made 1.4?
No, I'm talking about the last Avatar movie. But no, I think it's past No Way Home.
But I know, but I'm saying No Way Home only made 1.4 billion?
I'm pretty sure it was like 1. No, it made 1.9.
I was about to say, I thought that shit made like damn near 2 billion, but shit, get this one another week, it's gonna cook that.
No,
yo, let me ask you a crazy question. Do you think this film could get to 3 billion?
I was about to say, the projections are looking like it could do that. It has no competition. It has zero competition. Zero competition. Repeat viewings because most people are going to see this movie more than once, right?
This is my first time. It's my first time in years repeating a movie and paying for the repeat.
I haven't repeated a movie since Dune. Like Dune was the only movies that I repeated, and that was only the second movie because the first one came out day and date on the Max. But like, yeah, this is having repeat viewings. There's no competition, literally zero competition, until what fucking November, pretty much. There's no competition. This is if any film has a chance to make $3 billion, it's this film. And that is insane to say that a Spider-Man movie and a superhero movie at that is probably going to cross $3 billion. It's probably going to cross $3 billion. And if that's the case, I don't even know, dude. I don't even know. I don't even know what to think about that.
If it makes $3 billion, you have to hire a hitman and you have to send him straight to Tom Holland's house and send that nigga a message like, I don't know, like you got all this talk out here, you got the internet speculating about you possibly retiring as Spider-Man. I don't know what the fuck you think this is. This is Hollywood, nigga. You're not going nowhere. Sign this contract. We're gonna make you a billionaire.
He's going nowhere.
You're not going nowhere. What the fuck do you think this is?
He's going nowhere. Like it's over. He's you know that joke about Hugh Jackman? 100 years he will never not be Spider-Man.
No,
it's
but
over.
dead ass. Like I would be on the phone with Tom Holland. You see this box office? You clear your schedule, buddy. Clear your fucking schedule, dog. Well, we'll run out of characters, nigga. We will make them up. You fuck out of here.
You got a Rose Gallery. You'll be all right. That's it. You're Spider-Man. What's that? Remember Rick and Morty? 100 years, Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty season 100. That you're never getting rid of Spider-Man. Never. I think it could hit 2.5, maybe 3 billion. Maybe
the only reason I think it could possibly hit 3 billion is because there's been a lot of movies where I wasn't very, like Toy Story, I wasn't very impressed with what it came out with out the gate. And then I looked up and I saw Toy Story at $1 billion. I said, what? Because like Toy Story initial box office was like 130 million in the weekend. I was like, that's pretty good, but it ain't like mind blowing. You know what I'm saying? And then I look up $1 billion. I'm like, what the fuck? That shit must have had major legs. And with the way that people are talking about this, with it dominating headlines, I know people that still haven't seen the movie and they're like, yeah, I'm going. Like I got to go see it. Everybody keep talking about it. I got to go see it. And like you said, we haven't seen it since Endgame. People talking about it like that. It's really like that. So I think that like people can, and you know, niggas be having hoes out here and the hoes say, hey, I ain't seen the new Spider-Man yet. Oh yeah, me neither. That nigga just seen it 3 times with 3 different. Because that's what I just did. But anyway,
look, bro, that's insane, dude. Like that's a lot of fucking money. Like 1.4 billion. And it's looking to crack 2 billion, dude. $2 billion, nigga. $2 billion.
Oh, that's by the way, it's just Friday. It's just Friday, right?
I know. That's a lot of money. And then you look at Spider-Man, you're like, yo, this shit is killing it, bro. And then you look at Supergirl. It ended its theatrical run with $126 million. And to put that into perspective, Supergirl earned less money than the Marvels. It earned less money than what's that other movie? Oh, for adjusted for inflation, it earned less money than Catwoman, the early 2000s movie, earned less money than that. it's earned less money than Morbius.
Spider-Man earned double their entire box office in one weekend.
I think more than that.
No, more than double, but I'm saying like it ends its theatrical run with 126 million at the box office. Spider-Man earned 360 million in the first weekend. You can't fire James Gunn quick enough. You can't fire him quick enough, dog. Do you know how embarrassing that is? And then shout out to the journalist who predicted this could outperform Spider-Man. Are you crazy?
This movie did worse than the Marvels. Like, worse than the Marvels. Worse than Morbius.
I hate to sound like a red pill. No, I don't. Let me quit lying. I don't. I don't hate. But listen, I'm gonna tell y'all like it really is. I don't want to hear nothing about misogyny. Wasn't there? What was that story? Like people calling Spider-Man fans misogynistic because they wouldn't go and see Superman. I mean Superwoman, Supergirl, whatever.
Something like that. Yep.
I'm gonna tell y'all the truth that the red pill, manosphere, whatever you want to call it, been trying to tell y'all for years. Women don't want to see other women be heroes, dog. I'm sorry. That shit y'all bought into. Like when a woman thinks about being saved, she ain't thinking about being saved by another woman. Sorry.
And I don't hate to break it to you. Nobody hates women more than other women.
If women love, if y'all was truly the girls like y'all said y'all was, y'all would have went and supported not just this movie. Y'all would have supported Furiosa, Terminator, Woke Fate. You would have at least the Charlie's Angels remake. Y'all always ain't show up for that. Y'all didn't even show up for that. Y'all showed up for Cocaine Bear. That's because it wasn't woman centric. That was a good movie, by the way. What's the girl name? I forgot her name. What's the lady that wrote Cocaine Bear? That shit was kind of funny. I ain't gonna hold you. You did a good job with that. What you did with Charlie's Angels was some garbage, but you kept the girl politics out of Cocaine Bear. That shit was pretty good. But yeah, man, I'm sorry, women just don't care to see other women saving. Don't nobody want to hear that shit.
They don't want to.
Elizabeth Banks.
They don't want to see it.
You can always count on the chat that to correct you on some shit. I love it.
You know everything.
But yeah, though. So listen, Wonder Woman is successful because men love Wonder Woman. Don't ever get that twisted. Men love Black Widow. Don't ever get that twisted. So if you're gonna make a female character where her whole personality is fuck the patriarchy, you're also saying fuck the audience. And this is what you're gonna get. This is what you're gonna get. Meanwhile, Sony over there swimming in money. Oh shit. Who the fuck came up with that? What was that? What was that fucking Spider-Girl movie? What the fuck was the name of that movie where it had Sydney Sweeney in it and all that?
Oh,
Madam Web. Whoever we fired, tell them we good now. We made all that money back with this alone. Yeah, you good. We don't hate you no more. Fuck out of here, man. You made a Madam Web movie? Are you out of your goddamn mind? But it's Hollywood. Y'all ain't gonna take the right lesson from this.
Nope.
Y'all not gonna take the right lesson for this.
You know what they gonna say? We just need to make more Spider-Man movies.
Well, you do, but not like the ones that we're thinking. And don't try another Spider-Verse movie. I mean Spider-Verse thing. Don't do that. All right. I thought you would have at least had the common sense to say, okay, well, we'll let Disney get like Peter Parker, and we'll at least try to use Miles Morales over here or something. Y'all didn't even do that. Y'all didn't even do that.
Well, they have, but
I mean, yeah, on the animations thing. But I'm talking about for your little, Spider-Verse or whatever the case may be.
Oh yeah. Let it go.
Yeah. All right. Nigga, it is 11:30.
I was about to say, I ain't gonna lie. We've been here for a little minute.
We gonna get to these super chats, man, and we gonna get it rocking because nigga, I think I've eaten once today, and that's it.
Nigga, I got furniture to build, and I got a script to
and
write.
I gotta get back on Marvel Token. I gotta get my skills up. I cannot face Hypnotic the way I am right now. I can't do it.
Mm.
Donations, gifts.
What did you say?
I was about to say I think he doing a stream with Marvel Token tonight.
Yeah, he's supposed to be. I don't got the game. I ain't gonna lie. Ain't nobody been gifting me games since I ain't been on SNH in like 2 months.
Nigga, ain't no point in expecting it on there. They giving it all to Sevi.
True. Yeah, true. Sevi getting everything anyway.
Yeah,
I gotta get my titties right. I gotta go get a boob job in order to get some fucking games gifted.
Right. Sever Snoop says, bro, Token is hard. Yeah, I like it so far. I like it. I'll say this though. Small roster. I don't know if you played the Doom episode yet, but the Doom episode was kind of dope. I just wish it was longer, and I wish that they had actual cutscenes, but whatever.
Pause.
All right. So Frostfang with a 5 says Spider Queen. Adriana Soria should have been the antagonist of this movie, and she fits this role to the letter and doesn't need to be redeemed. I don't even know who that is.
We always have better ideas than people making the thing.
Cryptid Manga says feel more like soft boot for X-Men focusing on Jean. I don't know if it's going to be focused on Jean. But I think they're starting to give me the idea that they're going to be like really focused on Apocalypse. Like I think for the most part it should be like the X-Men universe, not in separate universes, but it should be like the X-Men universe, and then every now and then you cross over with the MCU type shit. I think they should just focus on that. Like, of course, Captain America lives in y'all world, but I don't want to see cameos every other day with these niggas. I think you should just like Apocalypse should be the big bad, like for like 2 or 3 movies, but whatever.
Be cool.
Garfield Bizarre Adventure. Gene had no problem throwing MJ off the roof, just like how Joker had no problem throwing Rachel off the roof to taunt Batman in Dark Knight. Only difference I think between those two is that like you're throwing MJ off the roof knowing that Spider-Man is right there. The actual Spider-Man, you know that he's gonna save her. Like, but that doesn't like mean that it justifies what she did, but it's like I want to diminish a little bit of the evil. Now, I can't justify the nigga getting hit by the car. There's no justification for that shit. There's no justification. I saw some people try to demean it like, oh, well, he lived. I don't give a fuck. The fuck? You don't know what that man could have had any kind of conditions or anything like that. And you just made him get hit by a car. So, whatever. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure also says, remember when Tom Hardy's Venom end credit scene led to nothing? Same with Baron Mordo at the end of Doctor Strange. No payoff.
I remember.
Yeah, I remember that. Frostfang with a 2 says Zendaya is Casablanca.
Casablanca.
Some of days with a 2 says, no, you chimps can't read and niggas won't.
I don't even know what that's in reference to, but you can't spell.
Now you know chimps can't read. He says with a 2 again. Now you know chimps can't read. Niggas won't. I still don't know. You corrected some of the spelling. I still don't know what you're talking about. Captain Killer Guns with a 2 says these black kids don't know how to use a computer. Obviously not.
Right.
As Koski Atreya says, Lupita Nyong'o, fuck out of here. No.
Nope.
Absolutely not. Severus Snoop with a 2 says X-Men equal to X-Gene, black people equal 6.
X-Men equal to X-Gene. Black people equals sickle cell gene. You know what? You need your internet privileges revoked.
Sever Snoop. Goodbye. I don't care if it was a super chat, nigga. That was off the fucking rails, nigga. Death the Mark over the 2 says Professor X to the Z. Thank you for that. Sickle cell man to the rescue. All right, chat, man. It's been a great stream. Sorry about the reset. We lost a couple people due to the reset, but it's all good. It was a great debate. It was a really great debate. I still don't see the 3.5, but it was a very meaningful conversation. I loved it. I feel like that's like it wasn't last. It was the week before last when we was debating Mads.
Yeah.
I feel like these debate
like
shows
that
be
thing.
hitting. They be hitting. So maybe we'll find some more debaters in the future. It won't be fucking Wargaming Dad, and it won't be fucking McDizzle. I can assure you that. But maybe we can find some other people to debate with, because you know what I'm saying.
If I ever debated Wargaming Dad, and he would seppuku himself because he wouldn't know how to deal with it.
Well, you know what I found surprising? He actually DM'd me and was like, "You should see this shit going on with Birdman." So I'm thinking like he's trying to celebrate like Birdman talking shit about me. But then I go and look at the Birdman drama and I got fucking laughing. Apparently, like where he's confusing. It's like, nigga, are you the ops or are you not? Like, it's like, but he knew I had beef with Birdman, and Birdman
was getting cooked.
Yeah, he was getting cooked.
That nigga was getting cooked. I know exactly what you was talking about. That nigga was getting cooked.
Yeah, but all right, guys, man, we got to get up out of here, man. I will apparently be going live. Well, I'm waiting on him to hit me back. But I apparently Hypno is doing a stream at 12:30 a.m. Eastern time where we're gonna be playing Marvel Tokon. I ain't gonna lie, I'm be getting cooked because I think on a fundamental level, Hypnotic and Leon just understand fighting games better than I do, and like how to chain together combos and shit like that. And I just think it's not gonna be good. It's not gonna be good. But hey, my man ain't raised no bitch, so I'm gonna be over there. And yeah, so if you want to see a bloodbath, go over there.
As for me, I'm gonna be working on a video tomorrow. I'm gonna be y'all get to hear it first. I'm gonna do just the same way I did John Walker wasn't wrong, and what's her name? What's that fucking bitch name? Oh yeah, Scarlet Witch was wrong. I'm gonna do another one. I'm gonna do one for Jean Grey, and it's gonna be Jean Grey was wrong. And we're gonna roast the fuck out of her because she's stupid. So yeah, that's all I got, man.
All right. Shout out to Death of Marco, who says, I saw on X last week, Dr. Umar was down in London attending a reparations march. I'm fucking dead.
Well, of course he was.
Got nothing to say about that nigga. And then shout out to Dragon Master, who just gifted a membership to a member of the Black Street Mafia. Hey man, shouts out to you. I appreciate that. Now let me do it the other way so y'all can. Oh, baby, I'm shocked. Hey.
So Scott said you lost.
All right, man.
So
Good night,
Scott
chat.
said you lost.
Good night.
I shake this thing like Godzilla, Harlem Control, twerk, baby twerk, Harlem Control, working girl work. My booty like Godzilla, my booty like Godzilla, I shake this thing like Godzilla, on them Control, twerk, baby twerk, Harlem Control, work it girl work.
ain't on you.
Alright, B, we got that scrap on you. What up, y'all?
Alright, I'ma fuck with you.
Alright, bro.